Many of us begin a workout regime, but most of us become quickly discouraged because we don't see immediate results. Legendary fitness guru Kathy Smith has developed a series of new toning techniques aimed at getting results as quickly as possible. Ultimate Sculpt focuses on sculpting the abdominal and back muscles, and Power Walk for weight loss helps with losing the weight. Here to talk about this new series is Kathy Smith. And it's true, we really want to see immediate results, and it's not realistic necessarily, but the faster the better, right?
Faster the better, and there's ways to, pick up the pace with working out. We were talking about it earlier, interval training, to do things where you go from one thing to the next. And again, with this new system that I've developed, which is called the Matrix workout. So it's a big thing in the United States where personal trainers are using this matrix, which if you imagine yourself in the center of a clock. Okay, so typically all the movements we do are on the sagittal plane, which means it's the forward plane. We walk forward, we run forward, we do everything forward, we lunge forward. But imagine yourself in the center of a clock, and instead of just going forward, you're going out to 1 o'clock, and then I don't want to hit you.
Go ahead.
You're going out to 3 o'clock. You're going back to 4 o'clock. You're coming back to 6 o'clock. And then you're going all the way around this clock, which creates symmetry in your body. Now you add to that upper body. So now you're doing a bicep curl, let's say, or you're reaching down and up, or here's one of my favorite moves. You're reaching over to 3 o'clock, and you come up and you're pressing over here. Now, you might ask, why are we doing this besides to create symmetry? Think about daily life. I have a big word for this year. Do not isolate, you need to integrate. So when you isolate a muscle, when you isolate a bicep, what you're doing, good, you're working the bicep, but imagine this, who goes through life just going like this? What do you have to do? You have to pick up your kids, and you have to put them in the, on the sofa or whatever. You have to pick up a suitcase and put it in the overhead bin. This is functional stuff that we have to learn how to do to protect.
And I notice in those lunges, you're really looking after your back. I mean, you're not, your spine is very straight.
Form is everything. Form is everything. Exactly. The one thing, and I'll even show you this from the side, big mistake with the lunge, a lot of people go for a lunge and they're going really far forward and their knees jutting forward like this, and what happens, it puts pressure on your knees, it puts pressure on your back. So one of the things we really work on in the video is to make sure the form is correct.
How can people up their walking? So many people walk. How do you improve upon the walk?
Okay, well, when you talk about walking, most people are thinking outdoor walking. And one thing, even for outdoor walking, speed, little poles. I don't know if you guys have seen the poles yet. Poles are great. But a lot of people, like on a day like today, or I'm from Los Angeles, so in Toronto, you can't go out walking, or across Canada, you can't go out walking all the time. Indoor walking, again, what I've done is I've created an interval walking program where you're walking, you're using weights, you're using my matrix method, but then you're stopping and you're working core the entire time. So when we think about core, you think about jumping down to the ground and doing crunches. But now imagine this. Imagine you have weights in your hand. And here you have your weights out in front of you. And as you take it side to side, this is just one little exercise. Now, when I have to do this is I start to pick up the momentum here. This braking action. Now notice, braking, what do I have to brake with? I brake with my core. When I go over here, when I do something called the bump, which is just bumping out here, what do I have to do when I bring both hands over? I have to use my core. So now what we're doing is we're doing all this abdominal work standing up, so that you can get the benefit of great symmetry and great flat stomach, but at the same time, it's very, very functional.
And as effective as, I mean, you don't have to do all the curls all the time then, because you're working that core strength inside.
If there's one tip I can give your audience, it's like, get off the floor, get off the floor, because this motion is great, but it only works the rectus abdominis. If you have other sets of muscles, the transverse, the obliques, and you need to get up and on and moving around.
I learned a lot, Kathy. Thank you very much.
Excellent.
But how come you guys weren't working out with me? Question.
I don't know. I was getting out of the way of your 3 o'clock there. We'll be right back.